Good morning, everybody. Ricky Rakan, what's happening this morning? Uppercuts Pomona, it was awesome seeing you down in Tampa. Lucky the Barber 02, Zeus, BRDMV Barber, and 6 others joined. Christina the Barber, Schoolboy Q. That's the real Schoolboy Q, just so y'all know. CG Features, Dutch Boy, and 15 others joined. GZ McFly, Beard Justice LLC, The Sheer Whisper. It was awesome seeing you down in Tampa as well. And 30 others joined. We're at 62, guys. Hey, listen. CEO Rob, Cuts by Tom Donaware, Champs Barbers in London, Tito Black the Barber in LA, Wando Barber, Tijeras, G-Class Cuts. Man, keep them coming. The Smoking Barber in the UK. Man, we got all over the world right now. We on live. We live. The lineup, Edward and 10 others joined. Elite Barbers, 859. Tara Barber, P. Torres joined. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're at 78 people, guys. We're only 30 seconds in. Hit the little paper plane right there and share it in your DMs and let people know that it's about to go down. Yo no tengo cambio. Yes, we are doing the Yo no tengo cambio challenge. If you haven't seen it, I'll be posting it up again. We're giving away 2 tickets, Elite Pass tickets to CT Barber Expo, courtesy of Jay Majors. So the best rendition of it, we'll be putting it up. We're doing a poll in our live so that way we know exactly who won. We'll be sharing that with you. We had a couple people who submitted. So if you guys want to go to CT Barber Expo with 2 Elite Passes, a $420 value, just do the Yo no tengo cambio challenge. I know a lot of people were talking about it. You guys got the backstory on it. That song was sung back in 2003. But here we are. So, guys, if you want to do that, participate. We're at 107 already. Thank you guys for sharing and letting people know. I got a couple announcements. Bazio, good to see you on here. Alheni, good morning. December 23rd, myself and Effects Apps will be doing a social media strategies live webinar. You can join for free. You'll hit the link, swipe up, and check that out. We're going to be sharing some things. I'm going to talk a little bit more about it later on, but I want you guys, if you're interested in that and you have not already signed up, I want you to put a 1. We already have 100 people signed up. There's only 100 more spots available. And so in 2 days, we had about 60 people signed up. So just so that way you guys know, SMS with myself and Effects Apps, it will be a live webinar. You can stream it. We're going to stream it directly to your phone. We're going to stream it directly to your laptop or your tablet. So if you're interested in that and you have not signed up or committed to a spot, please make sure you do so. We want to see you there. January 19th and 20th, I will be in San Antonio, Texas at Hairpalooza. I'm excited about that. Not only will I be there as a co-host for that event, I'm going to be doing a private class on Monday. One will be a hair cutting tutorial. The other one will be a business class. So you can sign up for that as well. That is Hairpalooza in San Antonio, Texas. February the 24th, Berks County Barber Battle, Battle of the Brushes. IBS show is March 10th through the 12th. I got 3 classes going on then. Bronner Brothers, the 30th April and to April the 1st in New Orleans. I'm excited about that. It'll be the first time down in NOLA. April 28th in Kentucky, the Midwest MLB show. I will be there for that as well. I'm going to start off with a Marvy Minute. He had a video up that said there are 2 types of barbers. He said, hey, what type of barber are you? Stop trying to compare yourself to the barber next to you who is not doing anything. You want to first identify who you are as an individual and where you want to be, right? Real important. And if you're complaining that you don't sweep up and you don't throw out the trash because the barber next to you doesn't do that, then you're actually aligning yourself with them. I thought it was a powerful video. Define who you are and where you want to be. If you want to be an owner, then you got to do owner stuff. If you want to manage, then you got to do management stuff. If you want to be a teacher, then you got to do teacher type stuff. And don't be trying to compare yourself to the person next to you. If they don't have goals and they don't aspire to be anything, don't try to align yourself with them. Align yourself with somebody who is doing something, who is trying to do something, whether via social media or somebody in your circle of people. Remember, the 5 influencers that you have around you are going to help influence you to be that next person that you want. So that was my Marv Minute. I love it. It was awesome. video. I like what Marv's doing. He's really passionate. You see him in his car. He's yelling at all the barbers, but I think he's just really is just passion. He's not really young. He doesn't hate the barber industry. I think he obviously loves it, but he's just sharing his perspective on things. So guys, thank you for that little bit brief minute there. And I want to tell you a little bit about last week, and we're going to go into what we're talking about today. Last week, I was very transparent in my childhood and coming up through my career and how I got to this place. And I was transparent with you guys that I talked about struggle gave me drive, forgiveness gave me healing, talent gave me opportunity, and purpose gave me value. I want to talk a little bit about value today. And when you look at the definition of value, there are two definitions that really stand out. One is in regards to people. You know, you value people and who they are, what they are, and you hold them in high regard and high esteem. And the other one is really about money, how we value money. And if I was to ask anybody what this is, you would tell me it's what? A $50 bill. And you can do what? You can spend it, you can use it. It has some value, right? It has value. You can do this, especially right now. Some people could probably use $50 to go Christmas shopping and get that last gift or whatever the case may be. But I value people more than I do money. I value relationships more than I do money. I value the relationships that I have with people, and I try to leverage those things. I try to connect with people in a way that's a little different than just what I can get from you. So we're going to talk a little bit about value. One is monetary, and one is a person. Maybe you hold them in high esteem or regard. So just look up the definition. I mean, I can read it real quick. The regard of something held to deserve the importance, worth, useful, or something you support is of great value. And then the second one is a person, principles or standards, behaviors, one's judgment of what is important in life. They internalize their parents' rules and values. So it's just something about the person. I like understanding how people function and operate. It's not so much about the money, because you could take money. Money is like currency. You know, it's called currency, but money's like currency. When you think of currency, you think of like a current in the water. It flows. It has a stream. In particular, if I was to spill this water bottle on the table, it wouldn't have a place to sit. It would just continue to run until it would dissipate or run off and spill. It won't be able to stay in one place unless it's contained in something. And your money is like currency. It's not something that you could just hold on and just stay in one place. It has a flow to it. It moves. And how you're functioning with that flow of money is important. So money, you know, it doesn't have as much value. We all could use a little bit of money. We can use money to do things. But relationships and leveraging those relationships can create more opportunity than money can. And when you don't have money, you learn how to fix problems and find solutions. When you do have money, you tend to throw money at all of your problems and solutions, thinking that that may be the end all, the fix all. Sometimes it's more like a Band-Aid. You know, after a while, it really doesn't get fixed. It's just something to help in the meantime. So, you know, I want to ask my live viewers and some of the people in here, if you don't mind, I want this to be a little bit different than the norm. I value you. I value my students here. I committed to this. A lot of you know my story, so you know how I feel about it. I value what I do. What I want to know from some of the live people on here, I want you to just put your comment on how you feel that I value you and what I'm doing with this live feed. So around the room, give me an example. I need 3 people to say how you know I value you, so I can just kind of share it. Anybody? Yes, sir.
It's funny the cortex or the genesis as to why I've come to the school. I watched you for a long time, even at my old school.
Maurice said he followed me when he was at another school, and it was the reason that he decided to come to this school. We have 2 visitors from Harrisburg? Chambersburg. These guys got up at 4 a.m. this morning to travel here to be a part of Tyrik Talk Tuesday. They obviously I value their time for coming to be here, but they value something in being willing to drive and commute here to be here early. They beat me here this morning. They were further out than I was. So I value you guys. Thank you so much for coming in today. Anybody else that want to share? I'm going to read these comments because I want to share it back. Somebody says I'm investing their time, same as Maurice. Your time. Thank you so much. You inspire people to grow. Turtle said y'all went to school together. She values you too. Turtle, she said she's on her way. Thank you. Oh, Jeezy McFly said for responding. A lot of people on social media they don't respond. Dedicated. Yes, I've been doing this for over 20 months. I've been going live nonstop. What you got, huh?
Oh, I would just say like the fact that you take to like come out and talk to us when we're doing a haircut and like even just talking to us on like a personal level.
Meg said, taking the time to really assist and help, not just on a haircut, but on a personal level when students need something. It's more about them as an individual. So thank you guys for sharing. I got another question. What am I doing? This one's for you. This question is for you specifically. So write this down, and this is something that I want you to think about. What am I doing, and is it important enough? Does it have any value? What am I doing? What am I personally doing? This is a question for you to ask yourself. What am I personally doing, and is it important enough to be doing it? Yes, sir.
You, and it's the wrong word, but you take the burden of everybody's problems in here, and you
Compartmentalize them?
Yeah.
Ox said that I carry everybody's issues. If I know you and I have a relationship with you, I tend to help carry that load with you. Thank you, Ox. I appreciate that. So the question for yourself is, what am I doing, and is it important enough? You know, guys, we're going into 2019. And if you have not been planning for 2019, you're obviously already late. You're already late. You know, I got one of my students, Ox. He values his customers so much. I want to give this to you. I know it's a little late. Some of you still may be able to do it. This is a gift that he created for every single one of his clients. It's a small little bottle of lime sec. He's got a comb, happy holidays, and he gave this to every single one of his clients. Now, let me tell you, give you a little background story on what he's done. He's increased his prices by $5. He went up again. He has a scheduling system. And where there was some backlash, like, why am I doing this? What am I doing? You know, that system was created by Effects Apps. And when people were asking, like, why are we doing this? I'm in school, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. This is my schedule. If you want to schedule with me, you can't call me while I'm at work or at school. I need you to set your appointment up online. But what he did to show his clients that he does appreciate them is that he gave them each a Christmas gift. What'd you spend, about $600? Something like that, $600 to $800 on a I mean, he's got tons of clients that he's giving out combs and smell goods to for every person that walks in. So this little token of appreciation says, I value you as a customer. And because I value you, most of those people are going to respect the fact that he's a man of his business. This is his scheduling system. This is how I'm going to function and operate with him. And you've also made some additional revenue, and at the same time, you retained your clients. Would you agree? Okay, so these are things that he's been doing. So, you know, if you value your customers, please do. It's real simple. It doesn't take much. You can buy a ton of combs for little to nothing. It's all the little extra stuff. You contacted Clubman and got these direct from Clubman to give out as gifts. So that's an extra step that he took in order to show his clients that he values them. So as you're moving into 2019, I've been giving you guys a lot of game all year long. I'm going to recap on some of that stuff, and I want to know if you value it enough. Google and Yelp reviews. I liked it when I was down in Tampa 2 weeks on the 9th with Bazio, Josh O.P., and Toomdoc, and we were teaching. Toomdoc said something, and I've been saying it all year in different ways, but he said something. I like the way he said it, so I want to share it in the manner in which he said it. How many of you have 20 friends? Okay, if you got 20 friends, you know who I'm talking about. How many of you got 50 friends? 50 friends. Anybody got 50 friends? 50 people? I got 2 people in here with their hands raised. That's crazy. Nobody loves them, right? I'm sure you got friends. Come on. That's a lot of friends. I'm saying. You're on Instagram. You should have a lot of friends. My point is this. Here's my point.
You're talking like followers?
No, friends. Just people you connect with. People you have a relationship. Family. 20 family members. Right. You have somebody you can connect with. Here's why this is important. If you don't have 20 friends, you should have at least 20 Google or Yelp reviews based on the friends that you have. All you got to do is, I need you to drop me a Yelp review. I need you to just drop me one. I need you to drop me a Google review. If you don't have 20, then you don't have 20 friends. So to your point, yeah, you probably don't have, you ain't even got one Yelp review. So yes, because you ain't leveraging your relationships with people to help. But I'm your friend. I'm gonna leave you one, right? So the point is, if you have friends and people you associate with, you should at least have that amount of Google reviews and Yelp reviews. Really, really simple. Hey, would you leave me a Yelp? You're my family member, you're my cousin, whatever, boom. But if you're not incentivizing people, so they don't necessarily have to do it. You know, I mentioned early in the year, If you have your clients, maybe you're giving them their photo of them that you've taken so you can put it on social media. The truth is, they don't want this picture. They want this picture. They want the front-facing one. And if you offer them that photo and have them post it, they're probably going to want to post it anyway. Give them something, incentivize them, and then also incentivize them for making a Google and Yelp review. That will help get your reviews up. It will help with your SEO and get more people seeing who you are. Really, really important. If you're trying to focus on 2019 and you've been listening to Tyrik Talk Tuesdays all year, all right, or maybe you're the first time on here, I've been giving out little tools to help you gain new business and build business. Google and Yelp reviews is one of them. I love the way ToonDoc made it. He made it real simple. If you have 20 family members or friends, have them leave a review, and then you continue to spread out. As people see it, clients feel compelled to want to leave a review because there's other reviews on there. So that's something that you might want to exercise. If you value your 2019 and you're focusing on that, maybe that's one thing that you should do. If your priority is gaining new business, have you been messing up the timeline? Some of you have started it, that mess up your timeline challenge. Some of you may have started it and said, hey, I did it for a couple weeks and I stopped. You're not going to see the results if you're not consistent. It's just not going to happen. If I go to the gym and I work out for 1 month straight, I might lose a little bit of weight. I might get a little bit of muscle tone. But if I stop going to the gym, I'm not going to continue to see results. I'm going to stay in my habits. And then what'll happen is I'll be back to my normal self. And chances are I'm not going to see results in the first month anyway. It's more like 3, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, and a year. When you look back at a year of what you look like, then you'll start to see, man, I'm a little more defined. I'm a little more chiseled. I got that little bedroom body. I'm a little sexy for somebody. Then you begin to see that. You're not going to see that in a couple weeks. So if you're not messing up your timeline, then you're not going to gain those new clients. For some of you who don't know what the mess up your timeline challenge is, spell it just like it is, mess up your timeline challenge. Hit the hashtag, find it in there. There are a few videos. A lot of people, I've been getting testimonial after testimonial after testimonial of people saying what you've done with the mess up your timeline challenge has helped me tremendously. Lauda Barber took it to a whole nother level and began to do that on Google and Yelp. It's important to do these things so you can get awareness of who you are, what you're doing, so people can see you. The name of the game is to get people in so you can make money, so you can provide for your family. Really, really simple. If you're interested in clients, mess up your timeline. Maybe one of the things that you should hold a value and say, this is something I'm going to commit to going into 2019 so I can be better in 2019 than I was in 2018. Does this make sense? I've been giving it out. If you're not doing it, then it doesn't matter. You're listening for nothing, right? The other one would be this. I mentioned about giving them photos of your clients. If you're giving them photos, don't just give them the back of their head. Give them the picture that they want. You got a better camera. The photography is going to be cheap. They're not signing a waiver for you to take a picture of them. They're allowing themselves to get pictures taken of them in your shop or in a backdrop or whatever. Give them that professional shot that you've taken. Barbers have become photographers. Give them that photo so that they can promote you on their social media platform. That's it. It's a really simple tool. And say, hey, listen, if you put this post with the hair, with your picture or this little caption, I'll give you $5 off. I'll give you $10 off. I'll give you $15 off. Whatever the case may be, or maybe a free shampoo, or maybe I'll give you a free t-shirt. Whatever the case may be, incentivize them so they feel compelled to do it. I think that's something that you should do to invest in your business, invest in the people, because that's the most important part. If you're investing in your staff, if you're investing in the clientele, this was a great example of showing your clients that you appreciate them. These are ways that you're going to get them to come back and want to stay. It's not just opening, the whole mindset, if you build it, they will come. Y'all remember the movie? Yeah. If you build it, they will come. If you build it, they will come. If you build it, they will come. Listen, they may come. But the key is to get them to stay. I want you to stay. I want you to get an experience that's long lasting that you don't want to go anywhere else. Okay? And that when you think of it, I should have that TOM mentality, meaning top of the mind. When they think of a barbershop, they should be thinking of you. Y'all remember the scene in Coming to America? When you think of garbage, think of our king. It was probably the wrong time he used the statement, but it's the top of the mind statement. It's when you think of trash, I'm the guy who's going to throw your trash out. Think of me. I want to make sure that I'm here to help serve your needs. It's the same concept. You want people to think of you when they need a haircut. You want them to think of you when it's about building those relationships and where they want to take their kids to get a haircut, where they want to go and get service. You know, where is it that they're comfortable taking their children to get service? What is it that you provide that the shop down the street does not provide? Maybe it is that photo. Maybe it is because you are messing up your timeline. Maybe it's because there's always activity happening. Maybe because you're doing community outreach stuff and nobody knows about it. It's important to let people see what you're doing so that they can be involved. There's people who want to be involved in what you are doing but may not have the time. So they may have the resources to invest in what you're doing. They say, hey, look, you know, I can't be there to give out or to whatever it is, but I have some money that I would like to support what you're doing. And then it doesn't come as a big hit from you. So if 2019 is important, moving through this holiday season, and you're really thinking about it, are you implementing those things? If you say that I'm very valuable to you, and you say that the things that I've been giving you, I take out the time, I'm dedicated, are you now applying those things to your personal business and to your life and seeing the fruit of that happen so that way your 2019 looks so much better than your 2018? Incentives are super important. There's all kinds of ways to give out incentives. There's just so many different ways. Also, leverage yourself by partnering with the relationships in your community. You're a small business. Everyone knows that after Black Friday, there's Small Business Saturday, and then there's Cyber Monday, right? These are things that are going on. And I know we're past that, but this is just a concept I want you to think about. If you're a small business and there are other small businesses in your area, you should be partnering with those small businesses. Every Valentine's Day, we partner with a local flower shop. They give us free flowers. We advertise for them for free. We tell everybody where our flowers come from. And that's how we partner. It doesn't cost them much. A $20, $30 bouquet that it will cost retail doesn't cost them. It costs them $2, if that, for them to package it and give you something for Valentine's Day. We partner with a local rental company for Valentine's Day so that way they can take people to dinner for Valentine's Day. We also partner with a local restaurant, a family-owned small business restaurant where they offered a meal. So guess what we did? Not only did we give somebody a free meal, not only did we give them a free ride, not only did we give them free flowers for coming to the barbershop and booking a haircut, what they automatically do anyway. Not only did we do that, then we captured it. We want you to take some pictures. We want to take some video so we can then advertise for the following year that this is what we're doing for Valentine's Day. This was our winner last year. This is our winner this year. We gave away an iPad. We incentivize our clients. Whoever books the 500 appointment gets an iPad. I've been saying this stuff over time. How can you do that and it not cost you anything? All of that stuff is on my app. Those videos are there if you want to see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so there's other ways to incentivize your customer base and the barbers. A lot of owners are complaining that the barbers don't want to do nothing. They're lazy. But you're not encouraging them. You're not igniting their potential. You're not building them up. And so, yeah, they don't feel like doing anything. What are you doing to incentivize the barbers for doing the job? There's acknowledgement, right? When you acknowledge something that they did, and then there's encouragement. What are you doing to encourage the good stuff that they're doing and fixing the negative stuff that's going on in the business? Listen, my business is not perfect. It's not. We got hiccups all the time. But I'm constantly involved in my guys' life to make sure that we can help ensure a successful career for them and an opportunity that they can make money so they can provide for their families and be at a place that they want to work. It's not that difficult if you're investing in the people. If you're just focused on chair rent, it'll be good for a little while. Eventually it goes away. So what does your 2019 look like? What are you doing for your 2019 to be a successful 2019? Classes. Are you investing in the right classes? I've mentioned this before. You'll go to a show and you'll pay for a class. And a lot of times at the class, you got a 45-minute or hour class, and about a half hour to 40 minutes is a bio of how this guy got started. And it's not really on educating or helping uplift and build the community of barbers or why you actually paid for the class. Do some research. Ask some people, what was that class like? You know, those are things that you could do instead of watching a slow-mo video of people coming out of class and the class looking packed. Because the class was packed does not mean that it didn't have value. I know last week when we went, on the 9th when I was in Tampa, the consensus from people was this was the best $100 spent for education with purpose class. It was nothing but back to back to back to back education, and you were empowering us and teaching us and helping us. You know, those are the types of classes that you want to be a part of, because they're going to help build you up and help your 2019 look better than your 2018. And that's the game plan. We want to look better than we did last year. Everybody sets goals, but they don't. The execution is the biggest thing. What are you doing? Are you setting a budget aside to do those classes that are important to you? Maybe going to that one show that you didn't go to see if this is where you need to be. There's so many different things that you can do, but I've been giving you some game on how to do that. The question is, what are you doing about it? All of us want to be like, oh man, I want to go to that show. I want to do this. I'm excited about da 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 da. But what are you actually doing about it? Are you taking the time to put $20 aside every week so that way you can have money to go to the show? Are you just waiting until that weekend, be like, I'm going to chop all weekend and I'm going to take this money, I'm going to go ball out of control in Vegas? No, that's not what it should look like. You should be slowly budgeting and setting money aside so that way it doesn't feel like a big burden or a big blow when you do go to one of them shows or an event or a class, or maybe you want to go on vacation. I don't know what it is. Whatever you got to do to make your 2019 better than your 2018, you have to position yourself. So the question is, what are you doing about it? Have you set goals, and have you set bullet points for each one of those goals so you can achieve them in a timely manner? Do you have a schedule set up so that way you can look at it and be like, all right, by the end of January, this has to be done. By the end of February, this has to be done. By March, I need to be at least at such and such show. Whatever the case may be, I don't know. Each person has something completely different that they want to do. Maybe it's not barber related. Maybe I need to dial back and spend more family time. I don't know. What I'm saying is, put a plan together. Create a plan that works, and then work the plan. That's it. You have to put one together. It's important. So the question is, what are you doing about it? Guys, if you like this information, hit the little paper plane and share it. I'm about to give you 5 ways. I want you to write these down. 5 ways that you can grow mentally, and we're going to elaborate a little bit on them. So it's interesting because I get so much stuff from some of the viewers, from some of the people who've been supporting, and they're like, hey, I want to share this with you. What do you think about it? What do you like? And I go and I look at it. You know, that's one of the things I do. I look at it, I communicate, I DM back, and I have these conversations with people. And sometimes I get these little gems of things. One of my friends sent this one to me. It's 5 ways to grow mentally, but I'm going to give you my perspective on it. So 1, follow your questions and don't be afraid to ask them. We all have different questions about whatever it is that we want to do or what we want to achieve. We all have them. There's something there. You know, well, do I want to go to barber school? And then you guys follow through with it. You know, is this something I want to do? Do I need a career change? You guys felt the need to come and do a tour and sign up and participate in our program. You know, you've asked that question, you followed up with it. You know, follow your questions and don't be afraid to ask them. What I want to do is I want to say to you to challenge yourself. How are you challenging yourself? Getting out of your comfort zone, doing something that's outside of the norm, pushing your limits. I can look around this room, right? And I have about 6 barbers that I know specifically in this classroom that have never cut hair before, ever. Thank you, Miss Cuts and Design, for putting them up, because I'm going to keep dropping them. Thank you. What I want you to do is challenge yourself. These guys have challenged themselves. Ox is one of them. The guy who put this out, he's one of them. He was a military guy that never cut hair before. He's a very successful barber in the shop that he's working. His owner came to the school and said, I see the value in hiring students from this school. I've had 3 of them. And this is one of the barbers who've come here and has demonstrated that it's important to learn. Before I used to do apprenticeship, but I'm getting so much more value out of students that are graduating from your program. So he came down personally to tell me that. And he said, do you have anybody else who's getting ready to graduate that may be living in our area? And I said, no, I don't have any right now. And he said, cool, no problem. Then he brought me 2 potential new students. Obviously, there's some value there. We're talking about value. So what are you doing? Follow your questions. Don't be afraid to ask them, and then challenge yourself. Put yourself in a position that you challenge yourself to try something outside of the norm. Number 2, read, and read. Now, this is an interesting thing because I'm not a big reader. Now, I do read. I got some books. I got some stuff. You go in my office. I got some books. I got some stuff. I went to a summit. Everyone has influence. I do read. I'm not a big reader. But here's the misconception about reading. People think that, oh, you got to read, you got to read, you got to read. No, you got to entertain this. You got to fill this thing right here. Just like you got to feed to nourish your body so you can function throughout the day, you have to constantly feed your brain. So this live feed might be something that's helping to feed you. I'm not the only thing out there. There are YouTube, there's audio books that you can do to deposit information, good information that's going to be beneficial to you. Here's the truth though. I don't care whether you read or not. Just get something that's going to deposit in you, whether it's an audio book or a YouTube channel or whatever, where you're getting good information that's helping you to grow in your business. There's all kind of people. There's TED Talks. There's so many different ways to get this in. There's interviews. You can watch the interviews, the Red Table Talk, Charlemagne the God. There's a lot of stuff you can get from these people who have these platforms where they're actually engaging and having real conversations with successful people. They're going to give you perspective that you may not get just looking at a certain social media outlet. Here's my problem with it. My problem is I don't really care if you read, or you don't read, or you don't use YouTube or whatever. What bothers me more than that is when you do read, or when you do watch YouTube, or you do listen to audio, but then you don't apply anything that you've learned. It comes with no application. It's worse for you to do that because you're actually wasting time. You're smart for nothing. You're of no value. But basically, you're like this closed bottle with all this good water in here, and I can't even drink it because it's closed. It's only good when I can open it up and use it. It's only good when you open it up and you're able to use what's contained in there. So you're getting all this information, you're reading, you're watching, you're listening, and you're like, I'm gonna wait for the right time, Tyrik, to just do this. I'm gonna wait for the right time. Shut up. You're not doing anything with it. You're of no value to yourself or to anybody else. Period. Make sure that you take the time to deposit. So number 2, read. Remember, it's not just about reading, it's about absorbing good information that's going to help you get to the next level. Here's a big one most people don't exercise. Be humble enough to listen when your knowledge is limited. There are so many people that think that they have it all together. They take no time to listen to somebody else when somebody else is giving them game. Your knowledge may be limited. I'm not as smart in this area. Ooh. You know, people ask me, man, you take great pictures. I wasn't a photographer. I got connected with a photographer because my knowledge was limited. I had to learn from a photographer. Then what I did was I took that information and I applied it so I can take good quality photos. I did an epic fail doing a Photoshop haircut this week. I don't know if y'all checked it. I photoshopped my haircut because I don't Photoshop my haircuts, but I did this week and I posted it up. And somebody who doesn't follow me but follows me, right, posted it like, oh, this is a terrible example of a haircut. Man, who cares? Doesn't matter. I don't even care. You obviously care. But the thing is I was trying to learn something different because my knowledge in that area is limited. So I'm trying to exercise. I'm not just telling you what to do. What I'm telling you is to apply it. Mike, can you do me a favor? Thanks. What I'm trying to tell you to do is apply what that is. If your knowledge is limited, seek it, get the information, and then apply it. Try it, exercise it. I failed at it. Ha, ha, ha. It got reposted and made a joke of it. So what? I'm trying to apply something in an area of my life because I'm limited in that space. Does this make sense? Okay, so that was the third one. Be humble enough to listen when your knowledge is limited. No one likes a know-it-all. You know that one person, I told y'all this before, that when I was a kid, the owner of the shop said, Tyrik, nobody wants to tell you anything because you know it all. And I was like, I know. What I was really saying was, I understand. Thank you. I appreciate it. You know, I didn't understand that. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. But I didn't know how to articulate that effectively. So I said, I know. And really what I was saying was, thank you. I understand. I appreciate it. Just be humble enough to listen to somebody when they're trying to put you onto some game. Number 4, set aside time for personal reflection. I like that. A reflection is what? John, reflection. Reflection. And right now, I see my reflection on this live screen. If I look in the mirror, I see a reflection of who I am and what I represent, right? Self-reflection, not just what you look like visually, but who you are. Not just because your beard's in shape or your haircut's sharp or you got nice gear on or whatever. Not that. But who you are as an individual, how you are reflecting and projecting that energy to others. Do some self-reflection. This is really important because a lot of times we don't take time to evaluate our own progress. Am I growing or am I the same person that I was? What am I doing or what do I need to do differently? For example, if you got a pimple and it sticks out and it's yellow, I'm not talking about like a red one, but like it's yellow and disgusting. You want to get it because it just doesn't look good, right? It just doesn't look good. If your beard isn't lined up properly, if your haircut is crooked, you want to adjust it. If your tie is not straight, you want to adjust it, right? If your belt or your gig line is off, right? You want to make sure that your gig line's right. Your shirt lining up with your belt lining up with your zipper line. That's important because you're representing your appearance, who you are visually. But who are you projecting out? Do a self-examination, evaluate yourself, do some personal self-reflection. Really, really important because you're going to find out what you need to do to make yourself better. It's about bettering ourselves moving forward into 2019. Okay? 5, take necessary risks. Take necessary risks and be ready to learn from those risks. I just mentioned I did an epic fail with my Photoshop haircut. It's not my thing. I like taking a picture, removing a pimple, posting a haircut. I'm not all about all the special effects, but I don't care whether people do them or not. I tried it, not my lane, not my thing, but I at least tried it and I learned from it. I learned a few things about my own personal skill that I can either pursue it and get a little bit better or not. Video editing is something that I had to learn. You know, people ask me, how are you doing it? I'm exercising the things. I'm doing some self-reflection. I'm trying to be better, and I'm taking risks. In order to open up a school, I had to convince my wife that I was going to take all my life savings to deposit it in the school and make it happen. When I didn't get paid for a year and I lost a salary for a whole entire year and I wasn't getting paid from the barbershop, or when you invested time into barbers at the shop to position them and then they quit on you and go to another place, or they quit and leave because they want a different atmosphere, and now that money that you were using, but after you took a huge pay cut, right? And now you're in school to help ignite other people's potential. And now people just leave because they feel like you don't care about them anymore, or the barbershop's not as important. I took some risk to be in this position. So I'm not telling you to do something because I said it. I would never ask you or challenge you or encourage you to do something, one, that I'm not willing to do or that I haven't done myself. That goes in classroom and that goes out here on social media when I'm putting information out there. Okay, I'm not just talking just to be talking. I'm coming from real experience. I'm coming from real a level of understanding in what it is that I'm doing because I've at least tried it and practiced it. Okay, so really, really important. Take some risks. Here's a misconception about risk. Tyrik, I'm waiting for it to be perfect. I can't do it. It's got to be right. I don't want to post my haircuts. They're not good enough. For who? They're not good enough for Barbershop Connect or these repost pages. Who cares? They're only good enough for the person who wants to pay for it. So if you're advertising in your area and the focus is gaining new business, then put the freaking haircut up, geotag it, mess up your timeline, and connect with your audience or the people that live in your area to bring them back to you. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just do it. It'll get better as you. I wish that I still had my very first haircut picture so I can compare it. I wish. You guys now have that with technology. You're able to take a picture right in school, be like, this is the worst haircut ever. I'm never going to post this haircut, right? But you have it. See, when I took pictures, it was Polaroid. When I took pictures, it was on film. I had to take it down to CVS and wait 2 days before I can get it back. And then I had to put it in a photo album so I could show the people the type of haircuts I was doing. Then as I moved or water damage or fire damage or whatever, I lost that stuff. Not here, you put it in the cloud and you always have it. I wish I could show my first haircut. One of my students, Bear just posted a picture last week, and he posted how he has grown since he's been at the school from his first haircut and where he's cutting right now. And I thought it was awesome. If you're a new barber and you're trying to gain followers, put your good picture up first, because if people see the bad picture, when you do the little swipe, they think that that's how good you are, and they just move to the next one. Put the good picture up to get their attention, and then have the caption say, check out what I used to do, so that way they can see the bad picture. If they see the bad picture first, then they think that that's your level of experience. If I was to put a bad picture up, people be like, whoa, it might interest them, like, damn, what Tyrik put this up for? Then they may dig. But that's because I have a different following. But someone new trying to establish themselves, put the good stuff up to get their attention first. Or put a caption over it, check out how I improved. So they'd be like, ooh, let me see. And then they dig in and then they dive into your page and start to see how you've improved. Just little things to get their attention. You know, so it's important. Stop worrying about it being so perfect. Stop it. I'm gonna give you this right here. Guys, we're doing a social media strategies class December the 23rd. It will be the eve of Christmas Eve, because most people are going to be doing stuff on Christmas Eve. I know you're probably going to be doing some last minute Christmas shopping. That's why we did two different ones, one at 2 o'clock and one at 4 o'clock. If you are interested in a social media strategies class that we're giving away for free $99, it is $1 to secure your spot, but the class is free. Okay, we have 100 people who already signed up. Please put a 1 in here if you have not signed up or showed any interest in it. Put a 1 up so that we can let you give you the link so you can sign up. We want to fill this up. There's only 100 more seats left in this webinar. Okay, now my personal social media, it focuses on comedy. You guys have seen Jeff Gumprint last year. And a little bit before that, I show comedy, I show people, I show relationships. I might be singing or doing something stupid. When I did the challenge with Marv, ain't going back and forth. I was dancing, making a fool out of myself. You know, I focus on comedy. I focus on fashion. I like fashion. I like nice things. I focus on the beauty and the barber industry. That is my focus. Although Instagram is my largest social media platform, I try to connect on Facebook. I try to connect on other social media platforms by at least pushing it to Twitter and at least acknowledging people when they're sending me messages on Facebook and things like that. There are other ways to engage with a following. For half a year, we did Facebook Live along with Tyrik Talk Tuesdays. We did Periscope and Twitter Live along with Tyrik Talk Tuesday. We did that for a season just to connect on other social media platforms. I gave you 5 things on how you can grow, right? Personally, right? Mental growth and personal growth. I'm going to give you 5 social media strategies. This is some game for you guys. And this is a prerequisite to what's about to go down on Sunday. Okay? I'm going to help you out. 1, collaborate and leverage relationships to create more exposure for yourself. You want to collaborate with other people. The problem is everybody wants to get reposted. And I say everybody just in quotes wants to get reposted on these big pages. You don't need big pages to be reposted. Connect with the audience that you have. Leverage those relationships and share with one another. I'll like your stuff. You comment on my stuff. I comment on your stuff. Let's share down the aisles. Let's not go to the front to get a share. We've done this already. So connect with the people that you already have, the relationships that you have. Number 1, collaborate and leverage those relationships to get exposure from one another, to build each other up, especially if you're like-minded individuals, you're into the same thing, you like the same things, and you're supporting the same things. It makes it easier to align yourself with those types of people. That's how Education with Purpose took place. Bazio said, I like what you're doing, Tyrik. Josh O.P., I like what you're doing. Toom Doc, you've been the brains behind our business. Let's do something. And it just happened. It was a month, not even really planned. Just, you want to do it? You want to do it? You want to do it? Let's do it. Boom. Collaborating and leveraging relationships. Okay? That's important. Number 2, speak to your audience on several platforms. Talk to them. I just mentioned that. Talk to them on the different platforms. Bazio does a great job of talking to people. And he has many veins in his business that he's able to connect with different people. most guys, and if you've seen it, I'm sure some of you have tried it, you DM barbers, you connected with barbers, or at least tried to, they don't respond back. You, hey, well, how do I do this? And they're not responding back because you're not important to them. The only time you're important to them is when you're putting some money in their pocket or you're paying for their class. It's the only time they really want to connect with you. And they don't really want to take a picture with you because they got other stuff they want to do. Think about that. Collaborate with people, leverage your relationship, speak to your audience on several platforms. Speak to your clients. If you're a barber, connect with your clients on social media. If you're a teacher, connect with your students on social media. If you're an educator, connect with your audience. If you're doing, connect with the audience. I know a lot of people, and if I asked, people would be on here and say, Tyrik, you always respond, you always connect with me. And I had people say, oh, you're not as valuable if you're touchable. They're like, oh man, you're too touchable, you're too reachable, you need to draw back a little bit. No, that's because those are people who are trying to monetize that. I'm not trying to monetize that. I have other businesses that are making money for me. I'm here trying to create value for you and give it to you. Are there things that you pay for? Absolutely, yes. But that's not my focus isn't the money. Number 3, engage with your audience. Not only are you communicating with, are you engaging with, are you liking and commenting on their stuff? Are you reaching out and giving a thumbs up or a fire? It doesn't, listen, a lot of us will look at something and be like, ooh, that's dope. And then double tap and then move on. Why don't you type, oh, that's dope? You thought it, why not just type it? And right now you can have short replies and quick text from your phone that you can put something up and it'll put that reply up for you, which makes it a little bit easier. I'm trying to engage with my audience on a whole nother level. Use social media as a tool to network and create new relationships so you can continue to grow together. I'll scratch your back, you scratch my back. It's reciprocal. Use social media to leverage and create a new network and new relationships. I would not know how to take photos with a professional camera had I not established a relationship with somebody who's a professional photographer. I would not have known how to edit my videos if I haven't established a relationship with someone who edits videos. I would not know how to do those things if I didn't connect and leverage those relationships. Number 5, I want you to treat your social media like it is a brand, because that's what people see. They see the brand. They see exactly what it is, and that's what that. If you smoking, getting high, drinking, or you spending money, let me tell you something. If you're at a club and you're posting that you throwing money out, right? Your clients may see that and be like, I'm not giving him no tips. He out there spending it on dumb stuff. But if they see you investing in your craft and going to classes, if they see you putting your kids through college, right? Even if you buy a car, they feel like you're taking, if you bought new chairs or you bought new stuff for the shop and you're investing it back in the shop, they feel like their money is being used properly. They're investing their money. Yes, they're getting a haircut and it's a service that's being provided, but they may be more happy knowing that the money's going into a good place, that it's being deposited in the right place. I'm not saying that you can't do those things. Just don't put it out there. If you're trying to gain the respect from your business dealings with your clients and your friends. I put a video up, and it was by Pastor Keon. He put it up about the water. And, he's saying some of you are trying to pour into this little cup. And a lot of people loved it. A lot of people reposted it. I put it in my stories a couple months ago and said, and I'm just throw it on my page. And in that, you can't fill this up. There's too much in here and not enough in here. And he was saying that you don't have to have as much as me. There's not as much in here, but this is filled. But being able to have the same capacity, being able to accept and absorb. The problem I have, it goes back to the reading, it goes back to the listening, it goes back to the watching, right? Is that people will get the information, and instead of then pouring it out into somebody else, they bottle it up. They close it. And if they close it again, it's of no use to you or anybody else if you just store it and you keep it. Maybe you have to store it and keep it for a season. But the reality is that if you don't pour it out, you can't get poured back into. I'm constantly pouring out. Constantly. You think that my cup is empty? No. My cup continues to get filled on a regular basis. I have mentors, I have coaches, I got people that I lean on that help continue to pour into me so I can pour out to you. It's not just about taking the information and locking it up so that nobody can have it. It's of no good use. If you're dying of thirst, Meg, you're thirsty, and I have what you need, it's of no good value if I don't give it to you. That's mine. I ain't giving this to nobody. What purpose does it have if you have it and you can't help somebody who needs it? What's the point? Well, Tyrik, I got to help myself first. Yes, you do. And I gave you some game on how to do that. And as you continue to do that, you have to pour out so you can get more in. Don't just keep it all to yourself. It's of no good value just storing it in for nothing. A library with books is just a library with books if nobody goes and reads them and then uses them. It's simple. I got $50. If I don't invest this money or do something useful with it, it's just $50 that just sits there. If it's tucked under the bed or sitting in my wallet because I don't ever want to touch it, it's of no good use because I'm not using it. I mentioned that money is like currency. It flows. Information, knowledge, education. It's like the same type of currency. As a matter of fact, I think education, learning, and getting this experience is the best type of currency in the world. You can't put a price on what you learn if you apply and grow from it. You can't put a price on it. You know, the education that the students get here, you know, it's more than what we charge. There's a good value there. I know that. I believe it. And so I thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. I want to open it up for questions. Did we have any questions on here? Where's my question guy at? Any questions? Come on. Let me get a question. Where's my question guy? E, where's the questions at? He probably upstairs chopping. Pay it forward. Absolutely. Principle of the story is talents. Yeah, absolutely. That is definitely the parable in there. Applied knowledge is power. Applied knowledge. Lele, love you. Let me get some questions on here. I want to answer some questions. I have a couple minutes here to answer some. Thank you for sharing, Jordan. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Straight Gems. Mr. Layman King, thank you so much. It's a pleasure. Alheni, gracias. Thank you so much. Salute. E, you got questions? Any questions from anybody? No questions? Anybody drop any earlier or a comment maybe they left? I want to be able to do that. Best form of currency is knowledge. Absolutely. When am I getting my minister's license? I don't know.
So we
Lamont.
got a question out here.
Yeah, what's that?
So if I'm not on YouTube right now and I don't have a YouTube presence, would it be better to go onto YouTube or just begin IGTV?
So his question was, if I don't have a YouTube channel and don't have a YouTube presence, I don't know what you want. I mean, IGTV is great. Do it. Put something on YouTube. Put a 10-minute clip on IGTV. Put a 45-minute clip on YouTube. You know, put a 3-minute clip on IGTV. Put a 1-minute clip on IG. It doesn't matter. I don't think it's just about doing it. It's not about thinking about doing it. It's just actually executing it. So it doesn't matter to me. Do you think Basio started with not doing it? No, he actually did something about it, and he's built awareness. And he only started his YouTube, just so y'all know, 3 years ago. There's been people that's been on YouTube for a long time. He's only started his YouTube channel 3 years ago. Now, I learned that because of having a conversation, but he only started that 3 years ago. And you see what he's been able to do. 360 Jeezy was a waiver before he was cutting. So, you know, you go ahead and check it. They actually did something about it. Go ahead.
Another question was, when is the last day for the Yo No Tengo Cambio challenge?
So, thanks. Great question. For the Yo No Tengo Cambio challenge, we're giving it away on Christmas Day. So you guys have now until Monday to create a video and send it to us and put it on there. I'll post it up again in my stories. The thing is that you have to put it out there. It only takes 15 seconds to make one. 15 seconds or a minute if you want. Doesn't matter. Put it together. I don't care if you're using music, you got masks, you got some girls in the background dancing with the little Spanish dress. Whoever wins is going to get $420 value ticket.
We got a great question here. Any advice on prepping for the theory instructor exam?
Yeah, so if you haven't gone to any advice on prepping for the theory instructor exam, there's a couple things. One, I would go to talk to some regular teachers at school and find out what they deal with. That's going to help you prep, number one. Number two, go to a school or a teacher that you do like and maybe ask them some questions. If there's no school for you to learn how to teach, okay, and there's no formalized training in your area, align yourself with teachers in regular elementary or whatever they teach. And find out what are some of the things that they teach you. You can easily YouTube and Google some of that stuff, but I would align myself with that to find out what are things that may be on that exam, because teaching isn't about how to, maybe making a lesson plan is one part of it, but it's really about how to engage with the students. It's how to connect with the students, how to build them up. So those are things, and how to deal with issues. Like you have a student with ADHD, or you have a student that maybe is a trouble student. How do you handle that and deal with that? Those are the things that you want to look into. Great question.
Somebody asked here, what's the best way to ask your clients for a referral?
Oh, I mean, I kind of mentioned that. Like, there's all kinds of ways. I don't think that there's a best way. Each person's best way is going to be different. In my area, it might be one way. In your area, it might be something different. I mentioned just putting a photo of them out, and you can't go wrong with business cards. You can't go wrong with flyers, right? But it's different. We're in the social media. Everyone is on their phone. I think that you give them a photo of themselves, give them a caption, and have them, hey, because when they come in, I'm going to say, where did you hear about us? Your first time here? Yeah, so-and-so sent me. Oh, that's cool. I have an app that we have a referral program that Effects Apps created for us. And in there, I'm able to get their information, find out who sent the referral, so I can immediately, as a matter of fact, it's automated. It sends them some points when they send a referral. So that's a whole nother level. If you're interested in that, boom, hit up Effects Apps for that.
Last question from CEO Rob. And this is just a whole
From CEO Rob.
You only got 2 minutes to answer this question. Is your whole life in a capsule in a pill. What's the most valuable lesson of your career?
The most valuable lesson of my career, I learned at an early age that it was important to serve the needs of people first. That was it. Because I saw the people who took the time to serve my needs. In my office, there's a plaque of a principal who took out the time to deposit in me. And I understood that in that moment, that it was more important to help people and to serve people's needs. That's what's opened the doors. That's what established relationships. That's what created opportunity. That's what helped me get my first shop with no money. That's what helped me get my second shop by investing. And that's what helped me get into a school. That's what helped me invest and get to this school. It was by serving people's needs first. That's it. That is the biggest lesson that I personally have learned. It's by serving needs and being okay with that. Interesting enough, my students that are here at this school, they're going to get to see the principal because she's in town. She's going to stop by on Friday. And so I've been talking about her for years. I know you've heard all about her when you were here for a student before. She will be here Friday just to connect with me. She's in the area, so I'm excited to just see her again. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you for tuning in. Remember, serve your needs by serving the needs of others. I love you. Have an amazing, amazing day.